Greetings, YouTube. Now, my recent trip to Subway illustrated one of the most pervasive issues to affect post colonial societies, namely the Bahamas. But I'm sure this extends to African communities worldwide. And that is the issue of self hatred. You know, it's so strange that we have so much difficulty and so much challenge in relating to one another as black people because we have a lot of animosity towards each other. And I think the Willie Lynch philosophy is to blame for much of this, but also the colonial programming of just living in a society like this with a white minority that was imposing its will since the era of slavery. But it's so strange. This trip to Subway illustrated this because, let me try to be brief because my time is a little limited. But so I went to order a sandwich yesterday from Subway in the downtown area. And first thing I noticed is that this lady didn't acknowledge my presence at all. You know, this isn't the first time that this has happened, but I'm getting somewhere here. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, the lady didn't acknowledge my presence, so I stood there. It's almost like 2.5 minutes standing up there. She wasn't really doing anything, but she just wasn't paying attention to me. Clearly I was there to order something. But anyway, the way she even addressed me, she was like, "What you want?" So I was like, "What? What do I want?" Could you repeat that, please? Excuse me. What do you mean by that? What do I want? She say, "What are you having?" She wasn't really looking at me when she said it either. She was staring at some phantom person who I guess was on the side of me. But she wasn't really looking at me at all. So I was like, me just continue doing what I'm doing. I'd like to get a 6-inch veggie patty, please. You know. So I told her not to toast it. I just wanted it warm because when they use that toaster, sometimes the bread ends up coming out like it's like a big cracker. Anyway, so as she's making my sandwich, put the veggie patty on the bread. Then she starts to ask me what is it that I actually want on the sandwich. So I told her lettuce, spinach, onions, green peppers, olives, what have you. So as she starts to put on the vegetables, she threw the lettuce on, kind of like willy-nilly. It was like this wasn't sandwich art. They supposed to be sandwich artists, but this was the sandwich art that was going on. This was like a child finger painting. It was horrible to see because when she put on the spinach, it was almost like she counted them. Like she actually put 4 leaves of spinach along the bread. 4. So I was like, man, excuse me, could you put some more spinach on this, please? But it was just a harrowing and difficult experience. It was the worst sandwich experience I ever had in my life. But it really illustrated something that was perplexing me for some time now. I tried to figure out, like, why is there so much vitriol towards each other as African people? Because as I waited for my change and I was paying for the food, I noticed she started to serve a tourist. It was a white tourist. And all of a sudden, I don't know if she had it in her back pocket, but she found her smile and she immediately lit up. She had like a bright personality. And after seeing this lady for some time now as an employee of Subway, the fact that she had this personality somewhere in her, unbeknownst to me, was very astonishing and very strange, because she greeted the tourist. She took her time and did everything properly. She was cordial, she was polite. I was like, is this really happening? You know, but I've seen this in many places that I patronize. Um, People wouldn't even acknowledge each other the way that they acknowledge a stranger from another land. That's the most distressing development to me, that somehow we've become increasingly less likely to have a harmonious interaction as black people, and it's not something that we should turn a blind eye to, because if we can't relate to each other, this explains why organizations like the UNIA, the OAU, um, many civil rights organizations around the world have a difficulty working together in any kind of harmonious interaction, because we have a lot of vitriol for each other, which began with the Willie Lynch letter and the plantation socialization, but it's been perpetuated by media influences, by a religion with a white deity, Santa Claus, etc. But stay tuned for part 2. Peace out.